What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
You started off with some weird
Like the guitar from the beginning of that.
yeah. What is that? That's not our truth. What is that?
That's the instrumental to What's Up. It has a fucking
Oh,
guitar in there.
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I was too busy listening to our truth yell to the audience. What's up? Anyway,
Green
what's
Bay,
going on?
Wisconsin. Boo.
Oh, that
Milwaukee.
one time
Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
you said the wrong city. Yeah. Um. Well, anyway, what's going on, all of my armchair bookers?
Yo,
My name,
yo.
I'm Jazz, and I'm here with my boy Pete.
Yo,
So,
what's up?
welcome to Call It in the Ring podcast. I believe this is episode numero tres, and we are going to give y'all the breakdown for Raw, subsequently SmackDown, do some Greatest Royal Rumble talk and whatnot. That happened this past week. It is now April 26th, 2018. So let's go ahead and get into Raw that just happened. So we opened the show up with, and WWE had to do this, and we knew they were going to, and I was honestly thinking about the whole some people, you can say what you want about WWE does stuff because it's PR. WWE does stuff because they have to. They do stuff because they don't care, but it's a good look, whatever. But the way that they went about this show, memorializing Bruno Sammartino, if you didn't even know who Bruno Sammartino was, the way they did it, somebody who had never heard of this man would have left the show crying because they didn't even know who he was. So I did appreciate that. Even if the only reason was because they were trying to save face, which I don't know if that's the reason or not. So I did appreciate they did that.
Or they actually care about Bruno Sammartino.
Basically, what I'm saying is some people will be. There's somebody out there, because I'm not saying that, but there's somebody out there saying like, they're probably gonna say like, well, they're only doing that because it makes them look good.
Well, they're stupid.
Because people do say shit like that.
What if Vince McMahon dies and they do a memorial for Vince McMahon? They're gonna be like, oh, they're just trying to save face. No,
I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know.
no, I'm not saying that there aren't stupid people out there, but stupid is as stupid is. To paraphrase.
I know there are some people out there who are saying like the only reason they're doing Make a Wish and they're bringing such light to it is because of the fact that it makes them look good, and that's the only reason that they highlight this and that. And it's like maybe that's true. I'm
Probably.
saying
Like the Make
maybe
a Wish
that's
thing,
true.
sure. Make a Wish thing, sure. That's why it exists. That's why charities exist. It's so that you can have people that give money out of the kindness of their hearts, while at the same time have rich people give money, yes, to save face, but at the end of the day, they still give money. So it
That's
is
what
what
I
it
mean, right?
is.
That's what I mean, right? Like if Make a Wish is simply to make WWE look good, you know how many kids they're making happy before these kids unfortunately pass away. So and I know for a fact there are people out there who don't like because when they used to have the whole IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, and all this, I used to watch some of the videos. Some people would be like, WWE is making such a big deal. It's very exploitive and blah blah blah. Which to an extent it is, but at the same time, it's like the lesser of two evils, man. It's exploitive, but it's making these kids feel good before they pass. So you know what? Let them exploit to an extent. If these kids, like, I mean, we'll get to SmackDown, but the kids.
Also,
I was gonna say we'll get to.
there are plenty of people that will just donate because they saw it on WWE. Like,
Right.
oh my god, I hate people
Well, I was
nowadays.
gonna say we'll get to SmackDown, but that one kid they said who like was a Make a Wish kid who like his dream was to meet the Usos. Like, So he was sitting right up front, and the Usos like hugged him and whatever before they fought. Like
There's no problem
anyway,
with that. John Cena has been Mr. Make-A-Wish for the past like 10 years.
right.
That's just what it is. Let the kids have a fucking wish to meet a wrestler. When we were kids, there were people that are like, I want to meet The Rock. There's probably still people that
Mm-hmm.
are like, I want to meet The Rock. The bottom line
Well,
is, you go to the fucking Make-A-Wish and then you can make the wish. Let them do what they
well,
want. And let WWE grant fucking wishes. It's fucking
like
stupid.
everybody knows that famous photo of or video whatever of AJ when she was little before she stopped wrestling AJ Lee when she was real young meeting like Lita and crying at the autograph signing and shit. So yeah.
Famous
Anyway.
photo. Never seen that photo in my life.
Okay, well, some people would know the video photo of young AJ Lee hugging Lita as a little girl and crying and shit.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
nice.
they had a 10-bell salute for Bruno Sammartino with all the wrestlers out there, all the Raw wrestlers out there, including Vince McMahon. I wanted to say real quick before we continue, almost forgot. The photo that everybody is looking at right now, if I got everything to work out right, is the photo that my brother took from going to Raw from this past
I was
Monday.
just about to ask, did either of you guys go to Raw?
I wasn't able to go because I'm doing a play right now, and the play opened Wednesday. So yeah,
Dress
the last
rehearsal and all that stuff.
yeah, the last two rehearsals we had were Monday and then Tuesday, and I probably could have gone if I knew wrestling was coming sooner, and I could have told them early on, "Hey, I have a conflict this Monday. I can't make it, even though it's close," and then blah blah blah. But I found out wrestling was coming like maybe a week before wrestling came, which is a week or so before the start time of my play. So priorities, conflicts, life, all that stuff. But my brother Ibn went, so that's the photo you're looking at. It's a pretty good photo too. You'll see it, Pete. I'll show it to you. Anyway, all right. So getting back to Raw. So after the 10-bell salute, we have everybody's favorite part timer. Everybody's favorite part timer, Brock Lesnar.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that. I like him. I don't care if he's part time.
I'm just kind of making a joke.
I know. I'm saying. I'm not saying. I'm saying you're not wrong. He is my favorite part timer.
Mr. Jimmy Johns himself.
It's got nothing to do with the fact that I may or may not have worked at Jimmy John's before.
Oh shit. Brock Lesnar with the Jimmy John shirt. So Brock Lesnar comes out to the ring with Paul Heyman. Now me and you might have something to say about this segment. I don't know. You might not. We might have some debate, whatever. I don't know, Pete. For me, I love Brock Lesnar. I love Paul Heyman. The segment was good. It went on too fucking long. Is that just me?
It went on for a while. It's also a Paul Heyman segment.
Because it was good, but it was just like, so we just gone.
They're trying real hard, real hard to get you to not like Brock Lesnar.
Which is right, because
but the problem is they paired him with Paul Heyman. So even when Paul Heyman's trying to piss you off, he's just gonna entertain you.
Like the only
no,
thing.
Here's what I want to talk about. Speaking of that segment, let's talk about the mic'd up Roman Reigns fans in the audience.
Yeah, okay, right. I was actually.
Let's talk about the mic'd up Roman Reigns fans that may or may not have been all that authentic.
like there was like about four.
4 or 5 of them.
Right,
that they zoom in on and have like where you can hear this specifically. Roman.
I remember that. That was so random. And then
now
Paul
that's
Heyman,
what I had a problem with. It's like,
Paul
come on now. Come on. Please.
And they were all grown ass adults too. That's how you know Yeah, something was a little suspect with that. Because like they were all grown people sitting right up front and start chanting Roman. Paul Heyman looks at them for about 10 seconds to let them
Yeah.
chant his name, and then says, yeah, no, something that was a little like you talk about shenanigans. I will call shenanigans on that.
That was
No, man.
that
But I
was
mean, the
bad.
segment. Who doesn't like Brock Lesnar? Who doesn't like Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman could make a man with no legs think he could walk. The dude got away with words. Like he really could. He could make a blind man think he could see. Dude.
Uh,
Like straight up. The only thing I didn't like about this segment was, like I said, about 10 minutes in, I was just like, okay, where we going with this? Like, okay, all right, all right,
you know what
all
else I
right.
didn't like about this segment?
Roman or
What?
somebody interrupt him, please.
What? You know what I didn't like about this segment is when Roman finally did interrupt him. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't do shit. He just talked like, "I'm winning this weekend," and left. Fucking swing at the guy. Last time you saw this guy, he busted you open with his elbow. Come on, if you're gonna be okay. Say what you want about Roman's talking skills and whether or not they've improved. Clearly, WWE doesn't care about whether or not he can talk, and that's fine. You don't have to be a good talker to be the best. Clearly, you don't. Either A, you can get a manager, or two, you do your talking, or you do what they eventually decided to do with Ronda Rousey, and just come down there and beat the shit out of people and look angry. Just
Pretty
do
much.
that. Just do
That's all.
that.
Like,
That's why people liked him to begin with. They didn't like him because he was the guy that goes, "Believe in the Shield." They liked him because he was the guy that went. I did like it when he would like yell right after Seth and Dean talked, and they would do their monologue, and he just come in, "Believe in the Shield," all like angry like. I like the angry Roman. Be angry. That's what you were. That's what you were in the Shield when people liked you. You were the guy that they're like, you know what? We're gonna press the angry guy button. He's gonna come in here, ooh ah, boop boop boop. Stay away from the big angry guy. That's what he is. Do that. Cool. That's what you do. You have Brock Lesnar. You have Paul Heyman talking for 15 fucking minutes about how Brock Lesnar's gonna shit on you this Friday, and you come
pretty much.
down and go, and you come down and you're just like, nah, you ain't. I'm winning.
And then and then
And then leave. What? Get down there, swing at this motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Even John Cena with his like, I'm all talk. There is action, obviously, but Cena, is more known for talking, cockapoo pee pee farts and all that. Just what he does. Even Cena, when he had his feud with Brock Lesnar, they had the thing where they still had to like separate the two of them where they were fighting. So you're Roman. You're more I just want to fight than Cena is. So fucking fight. I'm
I don't
sorry.
know, man. I'm not trying to like, let me make my point real quick. But this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to start an argument or nothing like that.
Uh,
But I don't know if you remember when the three of us, me, you, and Ibn is my brother. Like I always say for people listening who don't know. But me, you, and Ibn used to watch wrestling around the time when the Shield was, big doing their thing. And I used to say I liked everybody in the Shield, but I used to be that one dude that said I did not like Roman Reigns. He had to show me more shit. And everybody looked at me like I was fucking crazy, and now everybody is kind of saying like the
no.
same shit that I'm
If
saying.
if I looked at you, I said I like Roman because Roman is mad and he goes Berg. And he has the
But yeah,
look. I didn't say you were crazy for not liking him. I just said that Roman.
okay.
I liked Roman, and I just said it like in my previous just get mad thing. It was I liked Roman in the Shield because his role was pretty well enough defined. He was the big guy that you just press and you point him at something and say go kill it, and he went and killed it, and that was
Because
fine.
for me, when I looked at the Shield, I saw a star I saw a star like fucking like a huge star in Dean Ambrose. I saw somewhat of a star that had potential in Seth Rollins, and I didn't really see too much of nothing in Roman around the Shield time.
I
And now
saw
we see
I saw
so
star potential in each of them because I liked the whole like part of what made the Shield work for me was the whole dynamic of just how different the three of them were. You had
They all
like
were very different. That is true.
you had fucking Dean Ambrose, who was, I feel like he was more
Nuts.
crazy. He was more crazy as part of the Shield than he was when they broke him
Yeah,
off and started calling him a
yeah,
lunatic. Because he's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
going nuts. Seth Rollins was fucking, the guy that, he was the
They,
brains of the operation, the architect,
they called him an
whatever.
architect. Yeah,
But
he was more like the in ring
yeah, but, and even
competitor,
still,
athletic.
and then you had Roman who's just like, he says five things. He's just like, believe in the Shield after everybody says everything else. And then when they would all come out, that you still see like, oh no, these guys are legit fucking scary. You got the big dude, you got the crazy guy, and then the guy that's supposed to be sane is shaking the ropes. Oh no, it's like beating his chest like in fucking Seth Rollins. And I'm like, why would you fuck with this team? And so it worked. It just fucking worked. They
It did
had it.
work.
They had the fucking dynamic down, and everything was cool. And Roman, I used to be okay with it. And like I said, people were okay with Roman that year that Bautista won because mainly because Daniel Bryan had lost, and
Everybody,
they wanted
everybody wanted.
anything other
Yeah.
than Batista because that was when the Rumble started being extra predictable. And they're like, please, anything else. And instead of going with the anything else and doing like I feel like if they would have pressed the Roman button then when people were like, Roman, please just don't let Batista win this, thing probably would have gone over better because people they could have actually tricked people into believing it was their choice instead of the following year when we had a whole year of okay, clearly they're trying to push this Roman guy on us. I don't know if we want to
Well,
buy it. And
I,
I
I,
think that was
I,
also
I'm
post
sorry.
suffering succotash and a lot of
Oh
the
God,
other promos, which
not the suffering
to be
succotash.
fair, The Rock used the term suffering succotash once. The
The Rock,
Rock also
the Rock
used a
top
Jack
on
and the
point.
Beanstalk thing when talking about the Big Show. It's just you have The Rock and then you had The Rock's cousin using recycle phrases of The Rock, not nearly as well as The Rock did.
The Rock used the term popcorn fart one time to getting on a coach and got it over. Though you have some dude who
Popcorn.
for all intents and purposes sucks on the mic, and then somebody who is arguably, if not the best talker to ever come out of the business. So yeah, that's like that's not apples and oranges. That's like apples and like turds. Like
Yeah.
like but yeah, I mean, I guess we can move on because we spent a little bit of time on this. But like, basically, no, I know like I was never really sold on Roman, but I know the reason why everybody liked Roman. People liked Roman from what I got. They liked Roman Reigns until he opened his fucking mouth and started saying more than just 6 words.
Yeah.
Like when they actually gave that man a mic and told him to actually start saying paragraphs, that's when everybody was
All
like,
right.
"Shut up."
And I will say, Roman in the ring, despite his reputation, does have a lot of talent. He's really good.
He's getting
It's
better. He's getting better.
just is no, he's just like he's had a lot of like if you look at some of his matches, he does put on a good enough match given the right opponents. Like he is definitely talented, he's definitely athletic and everything. He's part of that fucking family. It's really hard not to be good at the wrestling aspect. And he
True.
has the look. They just need to
He really does.
fucking
He looks like a superhero.
make it work. Like he looks like a dude that everyone would fucking cheer for. That and his name's fucking Roman Reigns. In all honesty, that's a cool fucking name. When I first
True.
heard the name before he was even in the Shield, because I went to that like one NXT taping they had with him under the name Roman Reigns. I didn't see any of the Liaki stuff. Cause my roommate was like,
Right, right.
"Oh, it's fucking Liaki. I don't fucking like this guy." I'm like, "What? His name's Roman Reigns. I mean, look at him. He looks cool. His name's Roman Reigns. That's got a fucking ring to it." Anyway, you're right. We're moving on, but I don't have a problem with Roman Reigns, the person. I have a problem with what they're doing with Roman Reigns, the character.
I got you. All right, right. No, none of this is Roman Reigns like the person playing Roman. None of that is about him. It's just about the guy, the character, right? Um, but yeah, I know I agree. Like basically after the whole segment, to sum it up for me, the whole segment, I didn't like it. I like Paul Heyman, like Brock Lesnar. It started off cool, went on way too fucking long. Roman Reigns finally came out. It took this man fucking like it. I turned a year older by the time he got to the fucking ring. Then when he did get to the ring, he fucking didn't really say shit except, "No, you're wrong, Brock. I'm gonna win," and then left. It was stupid. I agree. The next match, Elias comes to the ring, and him and Mr. Glorious Bobby Roode had a match.
He cut him off right before he could even say anything, too. Just,
Yeah, that
hello,
was
I am Elias.
right.
Wow. How rude of him.
No. One thing I'll say about this match, the one thing I noted about this match was it was nice that they had a match of the two new guys. I think this might have been the one match on Raw where it was like two people who were like very much new to being like main show call ups, and they were like having a match. It's a little telling why they had the first match, because they wanted to have the first match of the night probably with like the call ups or whatever. I don't know.
Well,
but
I mean, also Bobby Roode is like, yes, he's new to WWE, but he was like in TNA for like fucking ever.
No, that's why I said new to the main show of Raw, not like new to wrestling, obviously.
Okay. Also, Elias has been on Raw for like the past year.
Okay, touche. But this match, something about this match, it was a nice, solid, cool match, but
Sorry.
This match, bless you. This match, it didn't have. It was missing something. Like, it didn't have that like intensity. I think that like some of the moves didn't have like that snap, that like intensity, that like fire. It was like, to me, it felt like a lot of the moves, they were like going through the motions. I don't know if you feel
Maybe.
me. And it just like it was cool, but I thought it could have been better. So I feel like I've definitely seen Bobby Roode. I haven't seen too much of Elias getting back into it, but I feel like I've definitely seen Bobby Roode have a better match. So
Right,
anyway,
man. Yeah. Like, it was solid. I didn't focus that hard on it with the snap. Like, I didn't notice anything wrong or anything.
It was a cool match, and I thought they could have done better. That's all. Anyway, then the next match. Oh man, my probably the favorite, the best thing happening in wrestling right now to this day. The deleters of worlds. The deleters of worlds against the Ascension. Dude, I say every time, they're the two most waxed out people wrestling for the WWE right now, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah.
Oh well, last match Bobby Roode ends up winning with a roll up. But yeah. Oh wait, no. Elias, I think Elias won roll up. My bad. Okay. But yeah, the leaders of worlds, they end up beating the Ascension. And I mean, dude,
like the finisher though.
Like, geez, with the twist of fate with like a push down.
With the fucking like slam down. I'm like, okay, I can believe that you're fucking out. Twist of fate, has been built up as a finishing move, and then you just got this big motherfucker just accelerating the rest of your ass down with it. Yeah.
Dude, this is you got two people, like I said. We all know, like Bray Wyatt needed some type of, I said this on the last podcast, he needed some type of like revival, no pun intended. He needed some type of revival.
They fucked him over. Like, you can monologue all you want, but if all you do is lose, people eventually get bored.
And then, like I said, for some people, we're getting turned off because if you're monologuing, just kind of like with the Paul Heyman thing, if you're monologuing forever, after a while, people are like, "Where the fuck are you going with this?" And that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, it's where are you going with this? Also, it's the Paul Heyman length monologues without the Paul Heyman client results.
without the win, right?
Like Paul Heyman can talk for 50 minutes about how Brock Lesnar's gonna shit on everything because Brock Lesnar shits on everything, and,
Exactly.
and he's just
Like,
right. And you're like, I'm mad that he's talking, but at the same time, he's right though. This is just what
right.
Brock does.
So it was both, right? But no, man. Like I'm the deleters of words. Like I said, you got both of them. Like Bray Wyatt needs that revival in his like character and persona, and it's really, excuse me, it's really working. And then Matt Hardy is so committed that, like I say, every time I look at him as woken Matt Hardy, I'm like, this is the stupidest shit in the world, and I love every bit of it. Every time I see it, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like when I think it was Connor like dodged him or whatever, and he said, "What wheel of cards? That was nothing," and like got the whole crowd to like clap it up because this dude with a cartwheel. I was like, this is so stupid. But yeah, they ended up winning with the twist of fate, like push down, like fucking yeah, the shit looked like it hurt like a motherfucker, and we will get to all of our like predictions and whatnot, but I might have them going over the bar come Friday. Yeah. I think they might be my pick for that match.
I do.
Yeah. I mean not to mention like if you talk about it if just for kayfabe reasons, but if you talk about them pushing Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, definitely. Next segment. The Sammy and Kevin show. Oh God. Basically a replacement for Miz TV, but the Sammy and Kevin show, and their guest, excuse me, is going to be Kurt Angle. I had a little bit of an issue with the Sammy and Kevin show,
What's that?
to be honest. I like Sami Zayn. I like Kevin Owens. I like both of them as in ring competitors and as like Mike guys and whatnot. Something about this segment seemed off. It just seemed like it just seemed
I felt like it went too long. Like,
yeah, yeah.
but at the same time, I wasn't too mad about it. Like I do like one thing I like about Sammy and Kevin is like obviously the chemistry's there, but when you've been like friends in real life since you were 19, you're probably gonna have good chemistry on stage if you're IRL BFFs. I
Right,
mean
right. Hopefully,
and like I don't know. I get I don't know. I like Sammy and Kevin. I also liked some of the stuff they were saying and everything. Like the line about how many kids Kurt Angle has.
yeah.
Like the funny part of the thing that made that even more funny was a couple weeks ago, I think pre
I know.
WrestleMania, Stephanie McMahon was like, "Are you sure you want to fight us? How many kids do
Mhm.
you have, Kurt? 4? 5 actually. Yeah, five
Right.
kids, 5 kids,
I,
and
I caught that too. I caught that too.
and it's like, and that's why they were like 5. No, he has 6. No, he has 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5. No, it's 6, 6. Oh, I know. I forgot about Jason Jordan. And it's like, wow.
Because in real life, Kurt Angle only has 5 kids. But
Yeah,
if you want to go for that storyline, right? No,
yeah,
I caught that because I remember him like doing that shit. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like,
So
oh
that
man,
was
they
them making
called him
a
out
little
on it.
inside joke. Yeah, a little
Exactly,
inside
they
joke.
called him out on it. So they had a lot of little minor stuff like that, which I liked.
But I just
So,
thought
but
this
it did
segment
go. Like, I felt like that one went on too long.
and this segment I think it'll get better. But there were some parts too, like when Sami Zayn was like, "So we're gonna," and he like paused for a second, and looked, and like a few times paused and like looked at Kevin Owens like, "We're gonna So I mean, what would you say? Like maybe later on? And I was like, are y'all trying to figure out what y'all supposed to be saying right now? Did somebody
I
fuck
think
up? Like
no,
that's what
I feel like they were going for more of a just. This is our first time doing a show thing. Let's just figure out the format as we're doing it, like more in character
that's
type
what I
thing.
mean.
Like
That's
when
what I
he's like, "Welcome to our weekly, maybe
yeah,
weekly."
that's what it was. And
He's like,
it just seems off. It just seems off, man. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's just more see like Sammy wanted it to be weekly, and Kevin's like, I'm not about this show.
He was kind of looking like I'm just here. Like what do you say, Marshawn Lynch? I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm not about this. So he's just like, we'll see, we'll see. You know what? We'll do it whenever we damn please. How about that?
And basically, and I mean, I know you watching at home, you probably like, oh my god, when you heard this shit. But yeah, he put them in a match against Braun and Bobby Lashley.
My
You probably
roommate,
like,
I had to
wow.
watch. I had to watch Raw after I got off work because I work nights on Monday and Tuesdays, and I got a text from my roommate saying that they got put in a match. Like Kurt Angle wasn't happy with with them getting on the show, so he put them on a match between with Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. I'm like, dear God, why? That's just gonna kill them. They're just gonna die. That's it.
You
Put him in a
got
match against Braun, and that'll be enough. But no, Bobby Lashley too.
you got one dude who's tall and like just like big, and then one dude who's not as tall but just like a walking muscle.
You got
Like,
Braun fucking Strowman and Black Lesnar. I mean, this is what it is.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so
And for
then we
those of you
have
wondering, no, I'm not making that up. Go to Wikipedia, type Black Lesnar. It brings up Bobby Lashley.
it really does.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What?
Unless it changed within the past couple months. Unless it changed within the past couple months. It's been that way for years.
Somebody's a practical
It's been
joker.
that since he was back in WWE the first time. They just call him Black Lesnar. And it's like, well, I mean, they're not wrong. And there's nothing against Bobby Lashley. It's just he's a fucking big, scary dude that, you know, just shits on people. You know, it's what it is. And then he left WWE to go do an MMA career. You know, these things happen.
And got like super fucking legitimate like along the way, man. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, pretty much everybody that like left Raw / SmackDown or WWE period and came back that much more like in shape or like just better at like wrestling, like just period.
They go and hone their craft because it's the whole It's the whole motivation by failure.
Yeah, but seriously, like they all did it too. Speaking of which, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus Titus Worldwide. And you talk about Apollo. Apollo got his last name back. He's Apollo Crews again.
Oh, did they call him Apollo Crews?
Yeah. No, when they put the banner up, it said Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. Yeah.
Oh, okay. They gave him his last name back because he's still wearing the fucking shirt.
Exactly. So, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, they ended up winning in not that long match, a longer match. They ended up going over Titus Worldwide with the Claymore Zigzag, which I have dubbed the Zigmore.
The Zigmore.
The Zigmore.
Better than the Clay Zag.
I tried calling it the Clay Zag. It didn't sound right.
Yeah, it's better than the Clay Zag. I like the Zigmore.
So, yeah, they ended up going over with the Zigmore, which, I mean, if you think about it, another move that just like the like Twist of Fate push down, the Zigmore
looked like it fucking get wrecked.
Like Jesus Christ, a big ass drop kick to the face with like a fucking like just pull down to the back of your head. The same. God damn it! Yeah, you'll get fucked up.
Like the announcer said, either of these moves will fucking end the match, and they combined them together. You just. Die.
I mean, another good showing from Drew McIntyre. It's like when I stopped watching wrestling, a lot of these people sucked, and then I come back and it's like, holy shit, y'all are good. So
to be fair to McIntyre, he was always at least somewhat good. They just stopped pushing him, and his theme, like the intro to the theme, which they gave him a much better theme now.
They did.
Well, I don't know about much better. I still like the previous theme, but it is a good theme now. It's more scary.
It is. I agree. And I told you, it's not a fucking like momentum of the night mood killer like the last one.
Look, man, the party was over. That's his whole fucking gimmick. The party was over, and he wanted you to know it.
You're right. Drew McIntyre never officially sucked. That is true. But when they put him with 3MB was like,
Well,
okay,
3MB was a group of jobbers,
yes, it was.
and
But
now
no, I never thought that Drew McIntyre was that necessarily that good on the mic. But he got on the mic this time, and I was like, oh, holy shit, dude got mic skills. Okay, so yeah, it was really good.
I had also gotten a text from my roommate about the Drew McIntyre thing. It's like the party's Drew McIntyre's mad. The party's over, and by party he means the entire backstage. I thought he meant that
Yeah,
Drew McIntyre went back and just started beating up people in the back. Man,
no,
I'm like, man, no way Jose had better stay away from Drew Galloway. That's all I gotta say.
Jesus Christ. They should make that a thing because no way Jose. It's like no way Jose. You know how there's some people in life where you're like, how can I be mad at this guy? He's just so happy and just wants to spread love. Like they could make a feud with like, hey man, just dance. But yeah, basically Drew McIntyre got on and he was like, the reason why I brought Drew McIntyre is because he's the reason why he's dangerous. And then Drew McIntyre, in so many words, basically like, yeah, everybody better wake the hell up because I'm gonna whoop everybody's ass. So
Yeah.
Then next,
And I also like the fact that Dolph's not even hiding the fact that he's just like, you're damn right I'm riding the coattails of this guy.
he basically is saying that. He's like, I know I'm good, but this dude is good too.
Look,
And I
this
mean,
dude is so fucking big, why wouldn't I hide behind him?
I think this tall motherfucker, right? All right. Then we have an impromptu match that gets started because fucking Chad Gable is like talking to like Kurt Angle and fucking Jinder Mahal comes to the back and starts making jokes. The one thing I didn't like about this, he said the whole thing about, oh yeah, you're that 10-year-old that grew up, you look good, blah blah blah. I didn't like that they said, oh, I thought that Mini Me died. Like I was like, that's cheap heat. Y'all didn't have to bring that up. Y'all didn't have to bring up fucking Mini Me dying. That's cheap heat. You could have let that alone. I get what you're doing, but come on,
Dude,
y'all.
Jinder Mahal, that is very cheap heat, but he's also had like worse moments with that, like when he had his feud with Shinsuke last year and was just saying like all kinds of extra racist shit, so much that the crowd started chanting, "That's too far."
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's a bit much, man. But yeah, so they made an impromptu match. Kurt was like, "Y'all go fight right now." So they ended up fighting. It was a nice little match. It was actually pretty good. Chad Gable, who I basically have been like, I could give a fuck about you, looked good in this match and like makes me want to kind of see what he's got coming up down the road. To be honest, so
He's really good. Chad Gable is really good. And some people were saying it would have made more sense if they said he was Kurt Angle's son, if for no other reason than the fact that he's also a fucking Olympian and really good at actual amateur wrestling.
Oh, is he really an Olympian?
Yeah, he did. I don't think he golded, but he definitely competed in the Olympics.
He competed. Oh
Yeah.
shit! Well then, yeah, that would have made sense. But maybe they were going for the swerve for the simple fact that Jason Jordan is black.
Well, also Jason. Well, he's mixed technically,
okay.
and he does kind of look like Kurt Angle. He looks kind of like him. He looks believable enough. It's believable enough for wrestling.
Okay.
It's more believable that Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's son than that Hornswoggle is Vince's.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can we not talk about that? Oh, my God. Oh, God. Okay. Why did they do that?
Because they fired Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, and
because they were clearly going to make it be Mr. Kennedy. Who's Vince McMahon's illegitimate son? Is it the guy going around constantly yelling Kennedy over and over again? Probably.
Is it the guy who just a week before or like 2 weeks before, whatever, patted Vince on the shoulder and said, "Dad"? Maybe. I remember now because Kennedy did that. He's like, "I don't know, Dad." At one point, like hit Vince and said that shit, and everybody was like, "Ah!" Because it was like being hinted around that time that it was him, and he did that shit. But then they couldn't fucking think of anything better. Or maybe they could, and they said, well, you know what? We're going to do some dumb shit.
It's the classic Vince swerve. It's the, hey, this is our obvious thing, but something happened backstage that made us say no, so fuck you. Have a
Yeah,
hornswoggle.
they decided to gobbledygooker the audience, and it was fucking Hornswoggle.
It's me, Austin. Ah, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
That's
He
one
didn't
of my
even say
favorite
it.
moments too.
He didn't even say it. He didn't even say it in typical Stone Cold like fashion. He said it more like, "Ain't this a bitch?" Like, son of a bitch.
No, Jr. said it.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was Vince took out the thing. It's me, Austin, and
Mm-mm-mm.
Jr. instantly. Ah, son of a bitch.
And then all along.
Ah, son of a bitch. It was
That
just
fucking
perfect because I could just imagine everybody that had been following that storyline for months wondering who it is. And the second Vince comes out from under there, just everybody just probably felt that way. Like, God damn it, this was Vince.
yep.
Ah,
It's
son of a bitch.
the anonymous. It's like
The
who
anonymous
was the
general manager. Hey, it's Hornswoggle. Why not?
anonymous general manager, this man's illegitimate son, the gobbledygooker, uh, who was the unknown person in that shit with the son of a bitch shit. It's like all of those were just like the reveals were just like, are you fucking serious?
Because
The
they
gobble
probably had some. Well, the gobbledygooker. I don't know what the fuck happened there. They clearly had better
like
plans, or they thought that was gonna go better than it did, or maybe they didn't.
it was a big ass egg, and it was like, what is in this egg? I don't know. Oh my god, what is this gonna be? And it was a fucking person in a fucking turkey mascot outfit. What is wrong with y'all?
It
Like
was the
what?
gobbledygooker.
Who I think was in the Gimme Battle Royal at 17, I think too, by the way. But yeah,
Probably. It's a
what
goddamn
the fuck?
gobbledygooker.
Anyway, back to this shit. But yeah, you reminded me of that shit talking business illegitimate. What the fuck? Oh
I'm
my god.
just saying, it's wrestling, okay? If real soap operas can change actors for characters like years later and just expect you to be like, okay, I guess I accept the fact that this is that character now. WWE can be like, this is this person's kid. Because it is a giant soap opera in and of itself.
Wrestling, it truly is a soap opera because it goes on forever and everything changes, but it never stops. Yeah. Um. All right, but yeah. He actually ends up winning the match. Yeah, Chad Gable ends up winning with a nice little roll up off the turnbuckle with from the Colossus. It was pretty good. Like it makes me want to see more Chad Gable. Um, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley beat the snot out of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They whooped.
It went exactly the way it was supposed to.
Dude, Bobby Lashley was in the ring fucking making a clinic on goddamn Sami Zayn. And then when Braun Strowman got tagged in and fucking it was like, where's he going? And he like got outside and ran into fucking Kevin Owens and fucking
Now they did have a good amount of time. They did have a good amount of time where Kevin and Zayn got some offense in,
they did.
and
They did.
Bobby was
They didn't
trying his
squat.
hardest to get to Braun Strowman to tag him, and they're just like, no, no, and he's just like extra slow crawl. It's like, are you fucking kidding?
They didn't just squash him. There was an offense, but when Lesnar and not Lesnar, see what you did. See what you did. when Lashley and Strowman finally started like getting their momentum, it was no stopping. It was like just ass kicking, ass kicking, ass kicking.
Oh
Braun
no, they
Strowman, like
beat
I
the
said,
shit out of him. It was
Braun Strowman
hilarious.
got tagged in, and then
He,
like I said, everybody's like, "Where's Braun going?" And he like shoulder tackled the shit out of Kevin Owens hard. Then went back in the ring, beat up
yeah, the
Sami
second
Zayn.
he tagged him, he went outside the ring.
Right. And then he beat him up. Then he goes back out and short tackles him. Then the third time he runs out and drop kicks the shit out of this dude.
Yeah, I love the Braun Strowman drop kick because that big ass motherfucker doing a drop kick. It's just scary
That
at thought, and it looks like it fucking hurts because I mean, look at him.
and then Ibn was in there. Ibn said Braun Strowman got the biggest pop of the night. He said Braun Strowman, and
Yes,
then
I'm not
later on
surprised. He's the
he said,
best thing going on about the show.
and then no, and he said the two people was Braun Strowman and then Ronda Rousey later on the night. Them two got the biggest pops.
He's the
So
hero we want, need, and deserve. Roman's the hero we have.
how are Braun's mic skills been?
Good enough. He
Okay.
comes out, goes, I'm going to fucking kill you, and then he fucking kills you. He doesn't have to say a lot. Again, if your character is Berg, I'm charging at you, all you need to do is say, Berg, I'm charging at you, and then charge at you. And then people will be like, you know what? Yep, I believe it. He just said he was gonna kill him, and he killed him. I saw it. I did like how the announcers went. What did the announcers say? Oh yeah, if these two actually decide to be a tag team in the tag team division, look out! No, it's not fair. It's not fair. It would not be fair. We can't. And no, you're right. It's not. It wouldn't be fair. They're like Braun Strowman won the tag team titles with a 10-year-old, and you put him with Bobby Lashley? No.
Yeah, Corey Graves said that shit. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, real quick, let's talk about the announcers. I thought this was funny as shit. How up front when Booker was like, "All right, Corey, you ain't gonna be checking me,
Oh
bro.
yeah, at the
All right,
very start of the night.
we gonna
No, because
we gonna we gonna cut this shit out."
Booker T was on the announce team for a while last year,
Mm,
and the
mm.
shit that Corey does with Coach, where he calls him out, he did that with Booker all the time. And if you've watched Botchamania at all, you know there used to be segments talking about Booker T's like crazy moments on commentary. So Booker T, I love me some Booker T. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Booker T commentary. He does say some weird shit sometimes though. But Corey Graves actively calling him out on it and just antagonizing him and being confrontational, kind of like Booker was like, me and Coach and just so and so. Why are you just so confrontational all of the time?
Yeah,
So like,
it got awkward as shit because he said something. He's like, "Why are you so combative?" And it was quiet for 5 seconds.
yeah. So when they had to bring Booker T back for a night, cause Booker T just legit does not like Corey Graves. He's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, so we're gonna cut this stuff
He
out at the
said that up
beginning.
front at the start of the show.
Don't get hurt. And then like within a match, all right, see now you messing up. Now you messing.
Right. I was like,
He's like this,
yo.
and then Corey's like, this isn't the streets, Booker. I'm like, damn,
And
we're
then,
not
and then, and then
outside.
how about one of the few times when they were doing the whole Grace Royal Rumble thing or like the Bruno thing is happening later or whatever. Booker T kind of looked at Corey Graves with one of those like we keeping it professional, but he gave him a look like, "I motherfucker," like he gave him a look.
Oh yeah, he does, like legit. I think Booker T legit hates this man, and I'm not gonna lie, I can probably see it. Like he just and don't get me wrong, I love me some Corey Graves, probably because he just pisses the other announcers off so much. Also, he goes along with he goes along with some of the silly things, like the fucking deleter of worlds whole storyline. Like Michael Cole and Coach or
Oh yeah,
Michael Cole or whoever treat it like it's
this.
the dumbest thing ever and are constantly apologizing to the fans that it's on TV. Meanwhile, he's embracing it. What do you mean? This is the greatest thing
He wanted a late reincarnation and then came out. What do you not understand? Right.
It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. No, what's so hard to understand about this? This is
But
fucking. And at
so
the same time, he's right. It's fucking wrestling. We're gonna watch, some Bulgarian fight an undead zombie this Friday. This is what
in a
happened.
casket match. Like, come on now. But
Gotta
no,
try to put the zombie in the casket.
I thought that was hilarious though, where up front Booker was like, it ain't gonna be none of that shit tonight,
Yeah,
brother. Like
I
I
was like, oh
was like,
no,
oh
no, I am not taking your shit today. And by the end of the
and then
night, even Michael Cole was talking shit because he's like, Booker T said something. He's like, Booker T, back for one night. Thank God. I'm like, damn.
but no, and then it was funny because it was like Corey wasn't even necessarily trying to like call him out. He was just trying to play the heel commentator like he does.
Yeah.
And Booker T had said something and like checked him enough to the point where everybody was just legit calling the match
Yeah.
with like no heel and face commentary. Like Corey was just like, I guess something that Corey was like, I guess I need to just call this match before there's a problem. Like Booker checked that man so hard that he was just like, I'm just gonna call the match down the middle then. Forget all this heel shit. It was funny as fuck. Oh shit, man. That shit had me cracking up when he said it over. I was like, oh, well then.
I
All
did
right.
like how like they said something that they agreed on, and then later in the night he's like, "For the first time tonight, dog, I agree with you." And Michael Cole's like, "Actually, you've agreed with them numerous times tonight. This isn't the first time you've agreed with them."
Yo, I
Like
swear.
the commentary, like it's not King Jr. Classic the days, but I
Uh,
like the state of the commentary nowadays because they just have like those moments where they're just calling each other on like the fuck ups and the mix ups, and it's its own like mini show within the show.
yeah, they're doing a lot of like calling each other out on Raw shit right now. That shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I swear, man, when they were doing one of them Royal Rumble, Greatest Royal Rumble packages, or like see the Bruno documentary or whatever, I swear Booker T looked at that dude like, you know what I mean, motherfucker. Like I swear he gave him a look like, you know what the fuck I'm getting at, bitch. Like I swear he did. Oh, all right. Well, no way, Jose. No way, Jose. What the? Again, the leaders of worlds, no way, Jose. So fucking stupid, and I love it. Like this dude, fucking his gimmick is, I'm just a dude that love dancing. Like the fuck.
Oh, Booker T again. Wait, what? How can this work? Wasn't there another guy with a conga line and stuff? Where's he?
And he talks about Adam Rose,
Yeah, he's like,
right?
where's he now? Look, it's a different thing. It's a conga line now. It doesn't matter, okay? You gotta get in the ring.
Booker did he did shit on the conga line hard though. He did shit on everything about that.
Like, wasn't there another guy with something like this? Where'd he go? What, you gonna give him a Party Express next?
He did shit on the conga line hard as fuck. But yeah, so No Way Jose comes out, and there was some dude. First of all, there was some dude with like a pink shirt that he had tied up funny, and like a fucking taco head,
Yeah.
like hat over. And that dude looked like he was loving every minute of this
Why
shit.
wouldn't you?
Which, I mean, why wouldn't you? Right? I was loving that dude. I was like, dude, I feel you. And then there was another dude that had like a blue tutu.
Braun
and
Strowman
shit.
had a lot of fun as a rosebud.
Right, and why wouldn't you? Exactly. But no, so No Way Jose comes out. He's supposed to have a match with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's like, nah, bro. And he was basically, he's like, nah, bro, he's like, what? So y'all can jump me? And then of course No Way Jose leaves and Baron Corbin jumps him. It was like, what the fuck?
Don't you, man? Baron Corbin don't give a fuck.
He's like, what? So I can come down there and y'all can ambush me? And then he proceeds to ambush me. It's like, what? Come on now. What the hell? It was, I mean, it was cool for what it was, and that's not me shitting on it. It was just not much to talk about, but for what it was.
I agree.
The next match, leading up to this match, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas, who they're still calling the Miztourage.
Yeah.
But
and coming out to the Miz's theme.
Right. But we had them trying to like fucking be like, so first we beat the Miz, but now we want to burn it down. That's
with the
so
shirts. And then later,
and
like, it's too sweet. Yeah.
Right. Well, it was funny when Finn went back and like put their hands down, like, that's better. That shit was funny as hell.
He's like, no, we're done with that. Stop.
Yeah. But yeah, so they come out to the Miz's awesome I Came to Play theme, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see where they go with this. Like, how long are they gonna keep the Miz's fucking like gimmick and Miztourage shit?
Until even after they show up on Friday and help the Miz win the Intercontinental Championship and go to SmackDown.
We'll see, because that could happen. That honestly could happen. Like they could like they could Miztourage the fuck out of that victory. Very true. Because they're still calling themselves. I thought they would call themselves like, I thought they would have been Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas by now, but not yet.
Nah, they're the fucking Miztourage. It's what they are.
I feel you. Another good, decent, solid match. Match ends with curb stomp and then the coup de grace. This is my thing with the coup de grace, and I said something about it previously. The coup de grace, in all very like realistic honesty, somebody jumping like off of some shit, stomping on your fucking stomach or chest or whatever would hurt like shit.
It's like the big punch, okay? It's like the Big Show's punch.
Wrestling.
Realistic, realistically, the Big Show, with his fist being the size of your head, if he punches you, your ass is out.
You probably got a
But it
broken
looks
jaw
fake as fuck. But it looks fake as fuck. It's the
because he's
same
throwing his
thing with the
punch.
coup de grace. It's the same thing with the coup de grace. Yes, it realistically could kill you, and that's why it has to look fake.
Yeah, and it's just something about the coup de grace. It's just like,
I
nah.
wish they would just give him the Bloody Sunday, but I know why they don't give him Bloody Sunday.
Oh, that was his original finisher. What's that?
It's some weird thing where it's kind of a thing where he like picks you up from behind and like drops you like directly on your head. What he used to use in Japan. It was an actual like finisher looking thing, but obviously you can't drop people directly on their head in WWE. So
I was about
he
to say,
does
yeah,
like he does like some nerfed version of it where he just kind of drops them like on their back, but that's not his finisher. It's just like a random move he uses like twice a year,
well
like
then,
as a
yeah,
call
that's
out to it.
they don't even do pile drivers anymore. The only pile driver they do is the tombstone, and that's because you can protect the fuck out of the person who's taking the
Yeah,
move.
and they
So
only let those two people do the pile drivers.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So exactly, yeah. Like for
They
like
took
they
away Kevin Owens as a pile. Apparently, Kevin Owens used to do pile drivers in the indie circuit. That's Steen, and then they took that
yeah.
away from him when he came up
What?
because he fought King shortly before being in the WWE. He fought King in Memphis in a pile driver match.
Right, because that was King's finisher, right?
Yeah,
Um,
first person to hit the other one with a pile driver wins.
what was I gonna say? Oh, I mean, they took away the fucking curb stomp for a while before they gave it back to Seth Rollins, not because of the fact that it was like gonna hurt wrestlers, but because they didn't want
Kids
kids
emulating it.
copying them on the playground. So yeah, like I understand all of that shit.
Oh yeah, think about if a kid were to emulate a pile driver. Like say they were going for a power bomb, and then the other person moved around too much, and it turned into a goddamn pile driver. That other
I was,
person would sit around and hold that over
I was
their head
say,
for like the rest of their life.
you know what's so funny, Pete? I was just about to say, should I tell the power driver story between us? I was just about to say that shit. I kind of have to now because people listening are like,
We pretty much they just gave them the gist of it. I went for a
um,
power bomb. You like I don't want to be power bombed and moved around. I lost my balance and turned it into a pile driver and hurt your neck. And you've held that
and
over me ever since.
and I mean, I obviously I'm not like mad at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Like, and I'm clearly not actually
Uh,
upset about it. It's just like it is what happened.
but but no, yeah, like I say to you every time, forgive me for not wanting to be power bombed.
I
Like what the
mean, it
fuck?
would have hurt a lot less than the pile driver. That's all I'm saying.
It was on a mattress, thank fucking goodness, Jesus.
Yeah, a power
Because
bomb on a mattress. It'd
no,
have
but I'm
been
talking about the
fine.
power driver on a mattress.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like,
Again, it was meant to be a power bomb on a mattress, which would have not been painful at all. And then,
but I
and
mean,
then
I was gonna say this: kids obviously, especially play wrestling, but kids obviously know nothing about protecting their head and all that shit. So
yeah,
when you power drove me, nigga, you power drove me into that fucking.
it was more like it's more like I dropped you into a pile driver because I did lose my balance because you're like no no
And
no 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 oh god
I remember when it was over too. Like I like because me, you, and Evan were like play wrestling. I remember when like you did that move. Like I sat on the match. Was like, all right, stop for a second, stop. And like my neck was hurting for about 2 or 3 days. I do remember
yeah
that. Yeah. So I am very much okay now. I just you know, every now and then
I have a
I
little
taste
twitch
colors.
just
Every now and then I taste colors,
every
but
one
it's
of them
okay.
doing one of
No.
these maneuvers just to
Oh, before we get into the last match, I want to talk about. I hope they do more of these a moment of bliss. Those motherfucking shits are so fucking stupid.
yeah.
When she was like, me and Nia Jax.
we,
we,
yeah.
I was gonna give my
There's this
burrito
nice
bowl,
old lady. I'm just gonna give her my burrito bowl, and I ate
but
it
Nia
all
Jax,
up.
and she was laughing and eating and laughing and eating. It was like, what the fuck? If it said when he was there watching it, because they were talking about don't be a bully, Ibn said when he was there watching it, he said for a second, he was like, "Is this real? What?" He's like, "Oh no, it's not." Okay. He said for half a second, he was like, "Is this real?"
I mean,
Oh,
they
they
used
did
to have the anti-bullying campaign,
right.
and lots of people like I used to be bullied in school. Now I'm a professional wrestler and beat up people. Don't let bullying happen. But you got bullied, and now that motivated you to get stronger, and now you're rich and famous. That's not a good thing to be like.
I mean,
Don't let people bully others. If anything, that's inadvertently pro bully.
I never thought about it like that, but I guess you could think about it like that. But it was funny though because it was like she was like Naya was just laughing and eating, and I tried to stop her, but I couldn't. I was like, damn. I love this like I'm a bitch, but I don't get it character that Alexa Bliss is playing. She's so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then of course we also had another vignette with the Riot Squad, basically just trying to say like, this is the Riot Squad, everybody. Do you like them? It was
No.
a cool. It was a nice little vignette for what it was. You said no. No, I don't. Like Jesus Christ, man. It was cool for what it was. It felt like for as long as the three of them have probably been teaming together, their chemistry is still off as fuck. Like for their vignettes, because they didn't know when to come in. They were like saying their lines and it seemed off.
Oh, for like the
It's
skit.
yeah, it seemed like three people who were still new to giving promos and who were solo acts. It didn't seem like a team
Mm-hmm.
as far as like the vignette in the back. But yeah, so you gonna say something?
No.
Okay. So then we get to the 10 woman tag match, which is basically basically all the women, all the Raw women who won't be at the Greatest Royal Rumble Friday, and we'll talk about that because we haven't yet. But all of them who won't be there having their last match before the Greatest Royal Rumble happens, and we have the team of Alexa Bliss and Mickey James against the Riot Squad. I mean, not against the Riot, with the Riot Squad against Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, and Natalya. And I mean, it was a nice match. Everybody, as they say, got their shit in. They tagged everybody. They tagged everybody in except Alexa Bliss.
Ember's theme continues to make me miss Pyro. I don't think she had Pyro in NXT, but if she had Pyro, when it got to the fucking part, when it gets to the part, it's like, dude, now burn, burn. As part of her thing, can you just like had fucking jets of fire pop up when she's like, now burn. I feel like that'd make the interest even more scary because she already looked like some chick you don't want to fuck with.
With the fucking
With the
the hair and the contact.
fucking and the goddamn like katana Melina fucking mask, which she like fucking comes out.
Yeah, it comes out with that shit. Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean,
yeah, I don't want to fuck with this bitch. And then she had like just the fucking flaming jets of fire. No, burn! Like, oh no, what did I do? Because I always like that kind of thing. When you get the whole like your fucktitude or the fucktitude like of the person, like when you come out, where you're just like, how fucked
I
are
like
you?
that. I like that. Fuck the dude. I like that.
How fucked are you? You know, some people the song alone does it. Like you hear the fucking Brock Lesnar theme and you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. Like the fucktitude meter is like through the roof. That theme is fucking scary. You know, Braun Strowman, he comes out and you got the whole shit like, oh god damn it. Taker, the bell goes off.
Intro to his song is
Bro!
It's like that's fucking terrifying. That it's just him roaring. It's like it's a buff dude roaring. Like why how would I not be afraid of this? Right.
It's like, what did I do? Somewhere
Now,
along the line, I made a mistake. I don't know where, but I definitely know I made a mistake.
if you want to talk about song alone, fucktitude meter, Ronda Rousey's theme song is not scary. She is.
It is
The
not.
theme song is not.
No.
The theme song.
No, it's more like her just walking straight to the ring just with her angry face on, just
Yeah.
beeline, just. And then she just like fucking arm bars you, and you're like, ow, I got no.
I like the theme song for Ronda, but if you want to talk about is the theme song scary? No.
Oh
Um,
no, no, that's more attached to the entrance. Then you got fucking Ember Moon with her entrance into this. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm fucked. I don't know
yeah,
why.
it's not like scary right away. It's just everything about it is just
Yeah,
like
you got the fucking moon and then this
what's
like
happening.
son of the bitch like boo doo 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 like oh. That's not good.
And then, and I mean, everything about Bailey is terrifying. Like, oh my god,
The most terrifying thing ever. That's a different. That's a different kind of
you said
terrifying.
that before,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the different kind of terrifying. That's the oh my god, I do not want to be the person to lose to this. I have to win
Oh,
this match.
real quick before we talk about the match a little bit more, I wanted to say I forgot to talk about how they're still keeping this whole frenemies, best friends thing, or whatever, between Bailey and Sasha Banks going because when they were in the back talking with all the faces were talking, and then Nia Banks, Ember Moon, and Natalia left, and then
Nia
Sasha Banks
Banks.
looked at Bailey, and Bailey walked away like, "Bitch, please."
Nia Banks.
She was like,
Name's
"Bitch,
Nia
please,
Jax,
fuck out of
not
here."
Nia Banks. Silly.
You said what?
I said her name's Nia Jax, not Nia Banks. Silly.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said Nia Banks. The whole time
Oh
I was
shit.
just like Nia Banks.
Well,
Anyway, I knew what you meant
Sasha Banks,
exactly.
yeah,
But it
Sasha
looked
Banks.
like they're trying to paint Bailey as the heel in the thing, which is fucking absurd.
Oh shit.
It's fucking
Oh,
absurd. Just months and months, just the whole past year, literally. It was Sasha stabbing her in the back every time. Like going into last year's WrestleMania, people thought that would be the Sasha Banks heel turn because of the way she was treating Bailey, and then they decided not to pull the trigger on it. And then they finally have Bailey, like after the Elimination Chamber this year, where Sasha stabs her in the back for the umpteenth time. They finally have Bailey say no to tagging her in a match, and suddenly Bailey's the bad guy. And the main
well,
reason
I
I
mean,
say they're painting her as the heel is because Corey Graves is the one going, well, how many times can you be stabbed in the back before you actually fight back? And Corey Graves, being the heel commentator, is obviously
ah,
in support
okay.
of the heel.
Well, I mean, another thing too is that WrestleMania before Naomi like surprised everybody, Bailey threw fucking Sasha out of nowhere. So you know, like
Well,
on like
again,
although they could be face too. They could be very face. So
well, the crowd cheered because it was about damn time that Bailey got the drop on Sasha. Because Sasha always gets the drop on Bailey. They go, the fucking Women's Royal Rumble. They fucking team up during the match. And then right before the end, Sasha goes, ha ha, I betrayed you, Bailey. Yeah, we teamed or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Sasha gets eliminated like right after. And it's like, grats. You couldn't have waited till the end of the match. You had to eliminate her like, 3/4 of the way through. You couldn't have just milked that a little bit longer. And then the fucking Bellas do the same goddamn thing. It's like, did you not learn from the bitches in the same match?
oh Bella, I wonder how Nikki's feeling right about now. But we'll keep it moving. We're not gonna get.
She's feeling like she's rich and can date whoever the fuck she wants.
We're gonna move on. Oh shit. Oh shit. Anyway.
And she was
Oh
dating
man.
somebody before Cena, Dolph, and she's gonna date somebody after.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Miz made sure to mention that during his feud with Cena last year when Cena was talking about Miz stealing everything that made him interesting. And he's just like, oh, I steal stuff. Okay, I steal stuff. Okay, John Cena stole his personality from every white kid in the 90s with an identity crisis.
Damn.
John Cena's finisher used to be called the Death Valley Driver until John Cena stole it from Tommy Dreamer and called it the FU or Attitude Adjustment. Oh, he stole his girlfriend from Dolph Ziggler. Oh, he stole this.
FU was a parody on Brock Lesnar.
but
The
the move
F5.
itself,
Death Valley Driver, Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, okay, I can see
the
that.
move itself used to be called something else, and then John Cena stole it. The point of the matter is, Miz is like, you can't accuse me of stealing shit.
Stealing shit. Apparently Miz is like, and I mean that's obviously like, a different type, more, I guess, more scripted or whatever. But Miz apparently is good at, like, if somebody calls him something, flipping it, because with the whole like calling him a coward shit, and he flipped that on Daniel Bryan hard as shit. Calling him a thief, he flipped it on John Cena. So don't call the Miz anything bad, or he will flip that shit on you hard as fuck.
Yeah, it's just like, hey,
He's like, I'm a coward. Like, fuck. Never
dude,
mind.
talking smack was a really good segment, especially when the Miz was on there, because someone would piss him off and then he'd get a little too real about it.
Shit. Like I say, man, go back and look at that dude's eyes. That dude looked like he was like fucking. He was so fired up.
Dude, like, yeah, my roommate calls it like like the Miz just PTSD just from like years of actually just drawing from the backstage shit because he actually wasn't treated nice for years and years and years on end.
I
Like,
was looking at, well, I was listening to a little clip where he was talking about that on like Booker T's, like I think Booker T has a podcast or something. I was listening to a clip on YouTube, and he was saying that he had had a really bad day, and like all this shit, like the whole day was like fucking with him, and he wasn't happy about this and that. So obviously he has a show that happened, that Daniel Bryan said that to push his buttons. And then he said he got on there and he said the whole time he's thinking, Mike, don't lose it, Mike. Mike, don't lose it, Mike. And then he said after a while he was like, fuck it. Just lose it. And then there you go. Right. All right. Anyway, back to the match because we need to, like, I guess, sum this up. Mickey James, to sum it up, Mickey James starts basically wearing down Natalia's knee. They end up doing that, and then the whole time she is fucking his knee up. Natalia's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, Natalia, and then of course, so we get to. I had been wondering the whole time, where the fuck is Ronda Rousey? Is she not gonna be on the show? What the hell? Where's Ronda? So then Ronda Rousey comes out because her and Natalya have been friends for years, and then she comes out and saves Natalya. No, but they said that on the show last week. But I actually saw something online, and apparently Natalya and Ronda Rousey in real life have been friends for a while.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they might have.
And apparently, according to what I read online, Natalya was one of the main like people that like kind of got Ronda into wrestling in the first place, and like kind of helped her train initially in the wrestling aspect. So,
which they said they trained together.
Yeah. So I thought that was some bullshit, but it is true. But storyline wise, it's still kind of bullshit. So I'm gonna make fun of it, even though it's true. Even though it's true, I'll make fun of it. The storyline wise, like, yeah. You're just like, what the fuck, Jazz?
Just take some fucking Google search to verify.
No, I mean, I looked it up. It's true, but storyline wise, I don't like it. So fuck you. All right.
Okay.
And then so Ronda comes out, saves the day, female Brock Lesnar, like everybody says, but it worked. And I mean, there you go. It was a decent episode of Raw. I think it's pretty good for a go home for a big event coming up Friday. I thought it was okay.
It was
what are you laughing at?
No,
I can see your face.
Okay. Say off screen.
Did I say something stupid?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm like, did I say something stupid? What happened?
You did not. I will tell you when we're done recording.
Okay. But no, for the sake of what it was, I thought it was cool before a go home show. See, this is the problem, and like I said, we'll talk about this more in depth when we talk about the Greatest Royal Rumble. But you run the risk of how do you do a go home show when half the roster won't be competing at the big event coming up, but you still have to have half the roster make an appearance and look good, you know? So
they did well enough.
They did what they could do, but like I said, half the roster still had to make an appearance even though they can't be there. So yeah. All right. And I guess we can go ahead and end the recording right here.